It's a moment divine, man. It's when we realize the crossroads of time and the completing of all seasons. And how is that? How can that be, Grandpa Coyote? You're full of what? Don't you be saying that to me. But then again, it might be true. Because that crap just dissolves down into me and you, you know. And we got to deal with it. And get real with it in the moment of now. You see? First, we got to see and understand the fixed position we've been dealing with life in. You know, and how primal those feelings get to be. You know, it's adopting yourself into this reality as you grow into your childhood. From the little baby, you know, just a little gigolo there, living off your mama, don't you know? I don't care, male or female. And don't you ever think this old man's running out of air. I just can't help it. I smoke a lot, man, you know, and so I have to, you know, cough every now and then. You know, it's self-explanatory. I mean, come on, guys. See how fixed your reality is, what your ideas of things are? Well, this guy smokes like that, he can't be good. Cigarettes are evil, right? See, you've already got that one figured out and established in your heart, and you didn't even realize they programmed it into you. A bunch of Mormons took over the propaganda machine back there in New York City and Washington, D.C., and now all of a sudden cigarettes don't even get on the bus anymore, let alone the back seat. And you can't even think of smoking one in a jet airliner, though I never thought that was very smart when you're sitting in a kerosene can, though I have done it plenty of time. But you're sitting in that big old kerosene can in the sky smoking a cigarette, almost an open flame, you know, shit, what if something happens, you know? Thank goodness it never did. But now we're like, you know, imprisoned in the reality that cigarettes are evil and persons that smoke cigarettes can't be good, you know? Well, babies, if we didn't smoke cigarettes, you'd be feeling so much more pain inside of your own little frame and inside of your life, too, as a result. I mean, you got to honor and respect those that take a different path that may not be the way you've seen it. Everyone in this life is a hero, and everyone's making a sacrifice in this life. Sacrificing for themselves for the greater good of all. In every moment we live, really. And it's not really a sacrifice, it's a joyful thing. See, we got to understand the mother's embrace. It's been inside of us since the beginning of time. Since we seasoned ourselves into this fleshly reality and broke off in the 4 directions and began 4 separated nations. And experienced separations as individual persons like we never had before. We didn't know that kind of emptiness. And I'm talking maybe 20 million years ago. I don't know. It's all in the flow. It's a long time ago, but it ain't very long compared to our true history. But this is where we began to unravel the mystery. This is when we had to get through it. This was the final day of our kindergarten days, our graduation from the University of Life at play. See, and we had to go through it all and do a doctoral thesis on it too, by living it. By the way, you know, before we get too heavy duty here, over at thecoyoteclub.com got a lot going on, making changes all the time. I added a blog page there that you guys are welcome to contribute to as it gets going. You can just put it up in comments and stuff. I'll figure out the mechanics of it. You may need a password to do it. I don't know. But whatever it is, we'll keep it in the flow. And we'll have some fun over there, don't you know? The Coyote Club, I call it a portal, a support portal for humanity. It's like the mothership of love, which we're taking a tour of today, you know? And it's beginning to reflect that energy in a significant way. I work on it every now and then and upgrade it and bring new pages in, new ideas, new thoughts, new feelings. You know, it's a gathering place for us in the electronic reality until we can further assemble our souls on the mothership love and to be together as we always are. And to step beyond the illusions of this fixed place in this reality, this empty place that ultimately weighs us down because the experience gets weary after a while. You've been through so much of it, you get to this point where you say, I just ain't going to do this anymore. The game is not worthy of me. And then you start to question your whole reality. You know, no matter how enlightened or unenlightened you may be, you start to question it. You know it can't be like this, and it shouldn't be like this. And you know yourself to be a better person than all of that. That you can't be manipulated like that, or manipulating either one. That you just don't want to be. It's a belly full. You don't want to be in this fixed place where this feels bad and that feels good, and you have to experience pain and separation from those you love, when in fact, no matter what's been going on in this dramatic little way, those you love are with you every day, every moment you breathe and live, and in every activity you undertake. See, the illusion is that we leave others behind, including ourselves, as a child, and go on to be something else. And we're separate from our child and from our family or friends or whatever, old lovers, whatever. Those that we truthfully care about, those that we were close to along the way and have known from another day, of course. Else we would not be so familiar. I remember my childhood, and me and this little boy next door got together, and man, we were like fire and gasoline, little Bobby, man. So much so that his parents had to move him away from there, keep him out of it, man, because we were getting in some deep doo-doo, man. But see, those are the ones that never leave you, never let go. Familiar beings to help you through this ache and pain of separation that we started so long ago when we divided into these 4 nations. Over here was the yellers, down there was the blacks, over here was the reds, and up there is the whites, man, see? The 4 directions. But see, what we didn't see is we were all centered. As we separated out and began, on these new continents. I mean, the whole earth reformed herself then, right along with us. We'd never known such density, such fleshy darkness, and such empty feelings, and let alone the things that empty feeling was going to bring forward, like lust and stuff. I mean, greed. I mean, we'd never known such things. But here was feeling like we'd never known either. I mean, it's hard to describe, but the feel of the body is like nothing we've ever felt in the whole universal experience before. It's kind of a unique new idea, but in a way, it's just us educating ourselves into the full presence of being and fulfilling our purpose in it by allowing ourselves to feel in this fleshly sort of way, to give our feelings an anchor there, to feel them as little shadows and whispers that, as we went through the experience, and sometimes just put them totally away. Go numb inside, but still that's a feeling. You see, and you're aware of it, you're conscious of it, even though you may be living in it numbly and dumbly, You're present in that, and this is what adds to the weight and the burden of it. Because you feel it, you know it, and you know that is your reality, and it's not a happy thing, it weighs you down. The numbness I'm talking about, and the coldness that goes with it, the absence of feeling. Yet, even that is a feeling, a numbness. Like they give you a little drug when they're going to knock you out, take your tonsils out or something, man. You go numb. Or they, going to work on your teeth. They give you this crap in your jawbone there, man. You go numb. You see, well, this is numb to all the feelings. We're trying to be. But even in the numbness is the feeling. And behind that, almost invisible to us in the past, the mother love. Embracing us. Right in that little orgasmic moment of birth, where we take our first breath as mother and earth, mother and son, all gathered in one, you see. That's where the child has begun. And it's never let go of. Even though you extend yourself from your mother and ultimately seem to be separated from her, and I'm talking about the divine mother that's in all of us, of which we're all born up. The generations can only reflect that in a mild sort of way, okay? So it doesn't necessarily mean male or female. It just means the divine mother love in motion, which never, ever lets go of the extending child, because the extending child is her. It's an extension of her presence, you see, an experiential one, so that she can feel the love in her living creation. The sun shining within it all over the place, which gives her something to love, something to care about, something to feel. See, in our human relationships, male and female, or however we portray it, it's always that dynamic one way or the other. But that is her way of anchoring herself at the very center of this creation and allowing herself to just explode into it in this contented sort of way. I use the white buffalo as a symbology of all that, which is the ultimate gathering of earth and sky, the pure love innocently given in a beastly-looking thing that shines with the radiance of the sun, and a slightly blue cast to him, just like the sun, you see? Gold light, standing on the prairie, and, prairie grass is up to its belly, and looking at you saying, baby, we got you through. The white buffalo love, see, that's who pilots the spaceship love, given of the heart of humanity, of course, the mother love embracing us all. But that's her symbology, that white buffalo. You see, holding steady the presence of the prairie life and the mountains around it too that give it a prairie life. You see, this is all synchronized. This is all brought together in the oneness of that form of love, earth and sky, and the wild you and I. In the buffalo love of unity, the whole tribe moves together with a singular purpose, a singular presence, a singular state of being. It is not thoughtless, baby. It isn't numb. It feels every little motion of it and loves the shit out of it, man, and scatters it all over the prairie and fertilizes the field so the blossoms of life come up strongly behind them. Wherever this herd of buffalo pass, man, they're nothing but by paradise coming out their backside, I know it's kind of a shitty way of looking at things, but it's the reality of life. It's the beauty of it. It's to see them beyond the ugliness and the stinkiness and the treachery and the rotten shit that goes on here, and seeing the truthful flow of that mother love in it all. See, it's graduation time. It's time for a party. Kindergarten's over with in this universal life. It's time to go on now to first grade and start to put what we've learned in this kindergarten into practice, wouldn't you say, in a very soft, heartfelt, loving way. See, who was our kindergarten teacher, man? The mother of love, the divine Mary J, as I call her, or Mary Jane. Oh, yeah, Jane. I'm going to have to play that one now. Jane. Mary. M-E-R-R-Y. Jane. Jane, no pain. Jane of the jungle. Jane, hot child in the city. Jane, looking real pretty in every form of humanity, always anchored in every presence. That is, especially in these human children. See, because your kindergarten teacher was your mother and is your mother and always will be throughout all your grades, man. So you got to show a little gratitude for what's going on here by seeing through it, dear. We create the mighty evil so we can see the flow of life in it and see beyond the illusion of it. And it dissolves the evil nature away, just like it does the supremely goodness. Hey, we're just people, man. We're the baby children of creation. We're just starting to catch on to what we really are, starting to remember it at last. But when we go to that moment in the past, we find it present inside of us. What is that? The juncture of love. See, we finally at that point in time tortured ourselves enough to kill off the pain. And we projected it all into one and then another and then another and then another along the way, but it began a long chain and ended a long chain right there in that moment, which is right now. And you see, there's no sacrifice, there's no real burden, there's only the blessing of being able to get through it and see it then in those moments of truth, which come to you as you seem to be dying. The presence of love in all of it, and how spectacular it is to be able to be doing what you're doing there. It's an incredible trial on the soul. But babies, that cuts you loose from that fixed place where it's good or bad or indifferent or it feels this or that. It's just one continual flow of love in motion. A way of educating ourselves through it by allowing this nightmare dream to occur so we could see past the ugliness without really having to create it. to just live through it in this dreaming-like sort of way, though we gave it the substance of all of our reality. That's the rooted nature of it. But see, now it's the divine way. We know the higher presence which works within us, of which only a shimmery, glimmery thing could be here present inside the human form. It's such a grand thing. It's the whole earth and all the universe, but personified in each person that be. And the one person of love that's in all of us, the mother love, and her son, S-U-N, at the juncture as one. And yes, it's coyote medicine through and through. But see, this is a vision now that's real, and we're sharing it with everyone, so they know the deal. And you can return to your heart for real and know and practice what you honestly feel. We never gave up on the child. It's always running wild, and happily so, with that white buffalo on the Grand Prairie of love. Man, you understand my meaning, Gene? I thought so. We're all in that flow, like the big old herd of buffalo. We all have that purity. We all have that sense of unity. So the buffalo represent then the river of life, the flow of love, which in us is given as a glow from above that flows inside, that expands through our heart into the creation we live in, the mighty prairie upon which the herd of buffalo do deposit the stuff from which paradise is made of. And when they come back that way, because they always roam south, you know, and leave their droppings along the way, and when they come back going north, wow, the ancient hunger is resolved. We eat no more. We live in the paradise that our shitty experience left behind. As it broke down while we moved beyond it, see, it broke down into all those base elements that give richness to life, to the soil of earth, and the feelings in that, which allowed, wow, the seeds that were in those same buffalo turds to start arising. So it's the blossom of the buffalo droppings. The grand graduation from kindergarten into first grade now. The first grade of life. The basic life. The blossom of love. Born of the shittiest of experience. And we can appreciate that now. And we can let go of any feeling of judgment or fixed ideas about it that we've ever held. Break it down to its basic elements and what you see. Love in motion. A beautiful child running wild, set free to experience and be whatever could happen in this unusual nightmarish reality. An absence of presence that could only give birth to the fullness of presence. Like a slingshot effect. You pull it back so far, and then, baby, it's going to let go and wang out the other way as far as it can be, man. You see, well, in this way, it's kind of an inverse reaction, because we just kind of implode and expand like crazy from there. So as we're imploding by allowing the light of love to be inside of us and bringing through the heart's motion into the energy of life all around us, man. You see the steady consistency in it. And it ain't like this flow into and out of anymore. It's just the glow of life living in the presence of your love. That's the higher self. That's the real pilot of the spaceship love, you know. The white buffalo love. Purity on the prairies of life. And the blossoms of paradise that arise out of your experiential love. In a land of hunger and meandering. With the steadiness of presence. The sureness of the flow of the river of life within all of your life, living through all the generations that you pass down these trails of the mighty prairies of love. It's the call of life, and the answer to it too, the return. To see what our true love has assembled here now. And as we look back, we look ahead, we see what we have created. And now we can live in it. Because we love ourselves enough to allow it to be so. And when we let this love flow, we see that in everyone and everything. And we're way beyond pain and suffering. We've given up the weight by letting go of what we felt in that fixed sort of place of being by letting ourselves be as free as the buffalo to go wherever the herding tribe wants to go. And know it's always perfect. That what we leave behind is quite divine. And we're doing that for ourselves, because when we migrate back north, babies, ooh-wee, celebratory, can he not even begin to experience it. See, so this Turtle Island, in a mystical sort of way, in a literal earthy sort of way, represents like the point of beginning where the 4 grand tribes went out for their new beginning. Well, this is then is the mother love that's held us together and is gathering the whole earth back together, you see. You notice the Turtle Island extends all the way south and all the way north, you see. There's a gathering, all right, but let it happen. Let it come together inside of us first. And then Mother Earth just naturally forms around that. When your children do the right thing by you all the time, oh gosh, babies, you can't help but give them everything they want and then some. Along with the rest of creation, because you don't want to deny anybody you're a mother, for heck's sakes. And the shining sunny little father too, which is all together inside of you. One person, one being, one presence, expressed beautifully as the genderized, but not the gender-azed. You understand? We're not hazed by it anymore. We're united in our gender, in our personal presence. One love in everything. One tribe of buffalo. Though billions and gazillions there may be flowing in the same direction in all moments, at all times, and led by no particular leader other than the heart that exists at the center of the tribe, and the center of each person living within it, right? Coyote medicine, man. We're the ones that follow them around, make sure the droppings do all right. Nurture them things along a little bit just by passing by and adding to it, you know. Oh well, we all have our flow, as do the buffalo, as does the mighty heart of love. It's always gotten it right and never, ever gets it wrong. I mean, there is no such thing in existence. It's just the flow of the mighty buffalo, innocently aglow. Somebody made us so, right? Somebody is us. Our own dream, our own heart, our own presence as we would have it. The ultimate forms of being. Hell, we've tried them all, man. Tried them all on for size. You know, we've just given it a go like no one else could before. But from that comes the glow of life, the return to paradise, such as we'd never seen before. A feeling love that can never go numb. You know, it just knows it all, is it all, because it's in it all, and loves it so, just like the meandering buffalo. Here's to tribal migration, honeys. It's Free Day Friday on the Coyote Medicine Show. And boy, the winds of warmth do blow across our heart now. Melt us down to that old buffalo cow, eh? Oh, baby! Just set you free once again on a Free Day Friday on the Coyote Medicine Show on the Everclear Hazy Radio Network, dear. So glad you tuned in. Oh my God, I'm feeling you now, baby. This herd, this tribe, this vibe tribe. Oh my goodness. Watch out, world. We're here now. Ever present in the buffalo cow.